In the 1970s, muscle cars reached the pinnacle of both performance and style, marking a golden era in American automotive history. This was a decade where power met design, and the roar of an engine could send chills down your spine. The muscle car, a symbol of raw strength, aggressive styling, and a need for speed, came to define an era. But what really made the 1970s so special for muscle car enthusiasts? It was the perfect storm of powerful engines, innovative engineering, and a culture hungry for rebellion and freedom on the open road. So, today, let's dive deep into the top 10 most powerful muscle cars of the 1970s, a decade when speed and style ruled the streets. Let's start our engines. 1. Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 1970. Power 560 horsepower. Engine 7.4 liters V8 LS6. The 1970 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 wasn't just a car, it was a statement. At the time, it was one of the most powerful production cars ever made, thanks to its engine, the legendary 7.4 liters LS6 V8. This engine could produce a whopping 560 horsepower, making the Corvette ZR1 a true performance beast on both the track and the street. It was designed with racing in mind, boasting a lightweight design and features that were typically reserved for high-end sports cars of the era. But don't let its track-ready capabilities fool you. The ZR1 was also a model of luxury, offering a plush interior with leather upholstery and high-end trim, making it the perfect blend of power and sophistication. While it wasn't the easiest car to handle for those who could tame its raw energy, the ZR1 provided an unmatched driving experience. 2. Dodge Challenger RT 1970. Power 425 horsepower. Engine 7.0 liters V8 Hemi. Next up, we have the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. From the moment you laid eyes on it, this car exuded aggression. Its wide stance, bold lines, and iconic Challenger badge made it clear this car was not here to blend in. Powered by the legendary 7.0 liters Hemi V8 engine, the Challenger RT delivered 425 horsepower, putting it in the upper echelon of muscle cars. What made the Challenger RT truly special, however, wasn't just its power, it was the attitude. The car was a symbol of the muscle car era's bravado, boasting sharp handling in one of the most recognizable designs of its time. It wasn't just a car, it was a cultural icon that dominated the streets, drag strips, and drive-in movie theaters alike. 3. Plymouth Barracuda 426 Hemi 1970. Power 426 horsepower. Engine 7.0 liters V8 Hemi. In 1970, Plymouth introduced the Barracuda 426 Hemi, a car that would go down in history as one of the most powerful and stylish muscle cars ever built. With its aggressive design and Hemi engine cranking out 426 horsepower, the Barracuda was built for speed, and it delivered both on the streets and on the track. The 426 Hemi engine, with its massive displacement, was notorious for producing immense power. Plymouth didn't just want the Barracuda to be fast, they wanted it to be a racing machine. But the Barracuda also offered luxury and comfort, making it a versatile choice for enthusiasts who wanted both power and elegance. Whether you were cruising down the highway or burning rubber at the drag strip, the Barracuda Hemi was up for the challenge. 4. Ford Mustang Boss 429 1970. Power 375 horsepower. Engine 7.0 liters V8. The Ford Mustang Boss 429 is one of the most revered muscle cars in history, and for good reason. Ford designed this beast with one purpose in mind: racing. The 7.0 liters V8 engine made it one of the most powerful versions of the Mustang, producing 375 horsepower. But it wasn't just about power, it was also about dominance on the track. The Boss 429 was built to compete in NASCAR, and it showed. From its uniquely styled hood scoop to its special 429 engine, the Mustang Boss 429 was unmistakable. But while it was bred for racing, it didn't skimp on luxury. Inside, the Mustang Boss 429 featured a plush interior that made it as comfortable as it was fast. 5. Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 1970. Power 450 horsepower. Engine 7.4 liters V8. When you think of classic muscle cars, the Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 is likely one of the first names that comes to mind. The 1970 model, equipped with the monstrous 7.4 liters V8 engine, delivered a staggering 450 horsepower, making it one of the top performers of the decade. The Chevelle SS 454 combined muscle with luxury, offering a smooth ride that rivaled even some of the most expensive European cars of the time. It was a true dual-purpose machine, a car that could dominate the streets and still turn heads at the country club. The SS 454 was the embodiment of what muscle cars were all about: raw power, precision engineering, and an unforgettable presence on the road. 6. Dodge Charger RT 440 1970. Power 375 horsepower. Engine 7.2 liters V8. The Dodge Charger RT 440 was an aggressive-looking muscle car that perfectly captured the spirit of the 1970s. With its long hood, wide stance, and powerful 7.2 liters V8 engine, the Charger was the kind of car that could command attention at every stoplight. Its 375 horsepower engine was capable of impressive acceleration and high-speed performance, making it a favorite among speed demons and drag racers alike. But the Charger RT wasn't just about raw power, it also provided a comfortable and refined ride for those who wanted to drive in style. Inside, you'd find a spacious, luxurious interior that matched its fierce exterior. The Charger R/T wasn't just built for speed, it was built to be driven, and it was built to be remembered. 7. Plymouth Roadrunner 426 Hemi 1970. Power 425 horsepower. Engine 7.0 liters V8 Hemi. The Plymouth Roadrunner 426 Hemi was an instant legend in the muscle car world. It combined the power of the 426 Hemi V8 engine with a design that was as wild and aggressive as the car's performance. Producing 425 horsepower, the Roadrunner was a force to be reckoned with on the streets and at the racetrack. But what really set the Roadrunner apart was its unique personality. With its playful Roadrunner logo and distinctive BB horn, this muscle car had a sense of humor that set it apart from its more serious competitors. Yet, despite its whimsical branding, the Roadrunner 426 Hemi was all business when it came to performance. It was fast, it was powerful, and it was iconic. 8. Pontiac GTO Judge 1970. Power 366 horsepower. Engine 6.6 liters V8. The Pontiac GTO Judge was one of the most iconic muscle cars of the late 60s and early 70s, and its 1970 iteration proved to be one of the most powerful yet. The 6.6 liters V8 engine produced 366 horsepower, and it was more than just a car, it was an attitude. With bold, aggressive styling in its unique Judge decals, this car stood out in a crowd. The GTO Judge wasn't just a pretty face, though. It was designed for serious performance, offering fast acceleration and top-tier handling for its time. Inside, the car was equipped with all the luxury features you'd expect from Pontiac, ensuring that while you were tearing up the road, you'd do so in comfort. 9. Oldsmobile 442W30 1970. Power 370 horsepower. Engine 7.5 liters V8. The Oldsmobile 442W30 was a powerhouse in every sense of the word. With its 7.5 liters V8 engine producing 370 horsepower, the 442W30 was built for speed, but it wasn't just a drag racing machine. Oldsmobile took great care to ensure that this muscle car had a smooth ride, impressive handling, and luxury features that would rival any high-end sedan. With its refined design and performance capabilities, the 442W30 was a car that could easily be driven every day without sacrificing performance. It had the power, the presence, and the comfort to make it a top contender in the muscle car wars. 10. Mercury Cougar Eliminator 1970. Power 335 horsepower. Engine 7.0 liters V8. Finally, we have the Mercury Cougar Eliminator. While not as widely recognized as some of its competitors, the Cougar Eliminator was an outstanding example of muscle car performance. With a 7.0 liters V8 engine producing 335 horsepower, the Cougar was a quick and powerful car that held its own against some of the biggest names in the industry. What really set the Cougar Eliminator apart was its sleek, stylish design. It had an aura of sophistication, blending the muscle car's aggressive nature with a more refined aesthetic. It wasn't just fast, it was elegant, offering an exceptional driving experience for those who appreciated both power and style. The 1970s were a golden age for muscle cars, a time when performance, power, and style collided to create automotive legends. These cars were more than just machines. They were symbols of an era representing freedom, rebellion, and the thrill of the open road. Whether you were behind the wheel of a Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 or a Plymouth Roadrunner, each of these muscle cars left a mark on the automotive world and culture. These cars weren't just about the numbers, they were about feeling the power as the engine roared to life and knowing that you were driving something truly special. The muscle cars of the 1970s will forever remain some of the most iconic vehicles ever made, capturing the spirit of a decade and the essence of American automotive design.